Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! The honor that's been shown to me to have the chance to talk about Descendants and Zombies with each and every one of you is one that I will never forget. No matter where I go from here, I will never forget the profound impact that Descendants and Zombies has had on my life. I say this because Descendants and Zombies changed my life because I got to meet all of you who felt so passionately about these franchises, who felt a part of something so special for once in your life. And I think because you felt so special because of Descendants and Zombies, nobody has the right to take that away from you. And what I mean by that is, if somebody chooses to criticize Descendants and Zombies, you can outshine any amount of criticism that these franchises have encountered, any amount of criticism that your favorite stars have seen, because you guys came out with a love and support for Descendants and Zombies unlike any other that I could ever remember being a fan of over the years, because I've been a part of everything over the last 30 years. But I have never had quite an honor like Descendants and Zombies bestowed upon me and shown to me. The chance to talk about Descendants and Zombies not only gave me the chance to talk about two franchises that meant so much to everybody, but it gave me the honor to meet so many incredible fans. You guys are so supportive of this YouTube channel. That is obviously very apparent to me. And that's why being the host of this show comes with great responsibility, because you not only get to talk about Descendants and Zombies, you've got to know everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies, everybody's favorite songs, the moments that made them fans of Descendants and Zombies, and you really got to break it down, you really got to present your facts the way that they were forever and always meant to be presented. Because I think without being able to do that, it defeats the purpose of ever uploading a video about your top 10 favorite moments from Zombies, your top 10 favorite songs from Descendants, ever to begin with. I think that there are so many people lacking in that department who don't have a greater appreciation for the audience that they're uploading the videos because of. And until you grasp the concept of what it takes to upload a video about Descendants and Zombies, I think that's why so many people can't really understand the profound message and the profound impact that Descendants and Zombies has had on all of our hearts, because we've become the best of friends because of Descendants and Zombies. That is truly undeniable. We've felt very passionate about our favorite characters and all the moments that have made us a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because I don't care who you are, everybody has a favorite character and or a favorite moment that made them a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And that's what's so spectacular about this franchise, and quite unique, to be honest with you, because I think everybody separates themselves in a different conversation about why they're a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I think that everybody fell in love with a song, a favorite moment, a character that they felt inspired by. And I think these moments deserve to be talked about. You know, it's really easy to rank your top 10 favorite moments from, say, the Zombies franchise. The iconic elevator moment where they shared a moment together, Zed and Addison, where he knew at that moment that if the Zombies didn't win at football, they would never achieve acceptance. And Addison just wanted him to be a part of her life, regardless of how he felt about all of his accomplishments that he had yet to achieve. He eventually went on to achieve all of his iconic moments, but he didn't really have to, because what mattered more than anything else in the world to both Zed and Addison was their friendship, and eventually their relationship, which became something far greater than any of us ever could imagine. And I think at that moment, from that iconic elevator scene that I've seen a lot of in Spider-Man over the years, the thing is, I think they realized their place in the world and what they were really meant to go on to become. And that's two of the greatest of all time. Certainly one of the most revered power couples in the history of Disney Channel. Because you can put any power couple from Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez up against Zed and Addison, but I think Zed and Addison will come out with flying colors for how people have felt about them. You guys have shown an incredible amount of love and support for the original Zombies cast that will never ever be forgotten. And I know, regardless of how people feel about it in the reaction videos that they always upload, I will forever and always love and support your favorite characters and the moments that have made you a fan of Descendants and Zombies. That's why I have a great deal of pride that goes with uploading every video that I've ever uploaded of this YouTube channel, because I think without that pride and that passion coming from your heart, nobody can really understand how you feel about iconic moments from when they met for the first time in the zombie safe zone, how the zombies were ridiculed and basically isolated in the basement of the school because they wanted to protect humans. They never wanted to accept the fact that zombies and humans could get along in the same world, in the same atmosphere, in the same bubble. But it was until Zombies 2 that they went on to achieve a great deal of acceptance. And I think that was always the reoccurring theme in the Zombies franchise, no matter what moment that made you a fan, of Descendants of Zombies. One of my all-time favorite moments from that movie was that iconic scene where they met each other in the zombie safe zone. She may have punched him in the face, but I think she just did that out of self-defense. I think more often than enough, a lot of people feel encouraged to do the same kind of thing with how frustrated they come with being around so many different kinds of people in this lifetime. I think we all feel the same way that Addison does, expressing our emotions. But I think through seeing this friendship that Zed and Addison exemplified in the Zombies franchise, we've thought of our own lives, and we've often wished that we could have one special friend in our lifetime. Many of us take a lifetime to find that one special friend to hold on to help us make sense of everything that may be going on around us. But I think that everybody wishes to get to a point that Zed and Addison got to, and that's what made this franchise so special, so spectacular. And I think that so many awards and so many acknowledgments have happened for the Zombies franchise because of this. I go back to when Twilight was at the heights of its popularity in 2008. Nobody ever thought Twilight was going to explode in popularity the way that it did, but it was because of the iconic revereness of these characters that they were forever and always remembered because of. It was said that Twilight cast members would have had to do anything for the rest of their lives, like being the Batman movie or being the Snow White and the Huntsman, but they just took opportunities as they came and as they were presented. But they wouldn't have had to do anything because of how much severity they received because of the Twilight books and the Twilight franchise that went on to garner such a significant reputation for itself. I don't think anything ever comes close to how revered Twilight became. But I would have loved to have seen Zombies and Descendants go up against something like Twilight because they would have fit perfectly in that era over a decade ago. Because over a decade ago, so many people felt inspired by vampire TV shows and movies. I don't care who you are. Somebody out there felt inspired by a vampire TV show or a movie. And they saw themselves through the eyes of whatever character they were a fan of. Damon and Stefan Salvatore, Elena, Caroline. I think everybody loved these characters so much. Bella Swan, and of course Robert Pattinson's character, Edward. They were so iconic. And I think that Zombies and Descendants has obviously drawn some sort of inspiration from that, which is really cool because I remember how popular Twilight was. I also remember how popular kids' TV was for Disney years ago because I grew up in a time where Disney Toons were what Disney Channel prided itself on and really existed and thrived because of. So when I saw a series like Zombies, the reanimated series, oh God, I thought this was so cool. Because for the first time ever, Meg Donnelly and Mala Manheim had the chance to star as the voices of the respective characters. And they really brought it to life. They may have shot it during the pandemic, which I had mad respect for them for having done, because a lot of people would have just sat at home and not worked on projects to broaden their horizons. But Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim did so much for this franchise, which made it so extra special for every fan of Zombies, because it gave them something to look forward to. And I really wish that Descendants would have taken advantage of the same opportunity. They did with Descendants Wicked World, but I think that when it came to animated TV series, definitely Zombies was a step ahead of the Descendants franchise because of the authentic detail, the personalities of the characters, and just how fun this seemed to shoot. I, for one, would have loved to have been a part of the production team of Descendants of Zombies to really bring this one to light, because you can never offer enough creative energy in a room where Zombies and Descendants is being created, and all these concepts are being presented. Because what Disney Channel tries to do is they try to come up with authentic concepts, and they present them to us to see how we're going to respond. And when we eventually do respond to a concept like a reanimated series of Zombies, and Disney sees how popular it becomes with so many different age demographics and how so many people feel about it. That's what makes it so special. And this is what's forever made Descendants of Zombies so special. And every conversation that we've ever had the chance of being a part of. Getting to know how you feel about your favorite characters and your favorite moments, and how you express how you feel about your favorite characters and your favorite moments. Because everybody felt inspired by Dove Cameron. Everybody, whoever they were, felt inspired by Sophia Carson. They were so iconic. And I think that's what really helped the original Descendants franchise so much, was the rarity of these celebrities and how they could take these characters with no backstories whatsoever. I've often given Dove Cameron and Sophia credit where credit is due, because they have deserved so much credit for taking characters with no backstory whatsoever. Because when you think about the Evil Queen's daughter, I mean, what backstory did the Evil Queen have to create a character like the Evil Queen's daughter off of? She didn't have that much of a backstory. She just kind of was in the Snow White franchise, and she just hated Snow White for some unexplained reason, because she was the fairest in the land, and that was the only explanation that we ever had. And when it came to the Queen of Hearts daughter, I mean, whoever thought it would amount to what Red became? Red went on to achieve something far greater than her mother ever wanted her to become or ever imagined. And that was so spectacular about the Descendants franchise, how defiant she was. How she could always find a way of standing up in the face of adversity and overcoming it every single time. That was so cool about being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And that's what made me so appreciative of the moment, being able to review it for each and every one of you in every video, in countless videos that I've ever uploaded on this YouTube channel. Because I think that in order to upload a video about Descendants and Zombies, you really got to understand everything there is to know to understand about Descendants and Zombies. And I think until somebody understands what Descendants and Zombies means and how somebody feels about Descendants and Zombies each time they watch one of your videos, I think the greater understanding will never be achieved by a YouTube creator, because what they're basically doing with the Descendants and Zombies franchise is taking advantage of it. And that's something I've never wanted to do. I've realized the popularity of Descendants and Zombies, and all I've ever wanted to do, along with creating something special, is be a part of something special because of each and every one of you, and for each and every one of you, and being along for this incredible journey that you girls have had me on for forever, which I can't thank you enough for, has been an experience and a chance for me not only to meet so many wonderful fans, but it's been a moment that I wish I could stop in time. If I could freeze time, courtesy of a pocket watch if I had one, it would be just to experience this all over again. Because this moment in time is history that we are all going to be a part of. When you talk about things like Zombies 5 and Descendants 5 and giving you all these predictions that I think is going to happen in Descendants and Zombies, because I'm just like each and every one of you. While I may not know what's going to happen in Descendants and Zombies and what's inside of this vortex, which is kind of really cool, it definitely twists and turns the plot in so many ways for Zombies, because it's got people thinking about what could be inside of this vortex. People are saying mermaids, some are saying pirates and witches and sirens. I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for all the predictions and you guys letting me know what you think is inside of this vortex. I hope you keep doing it for the foreseeable future, because there is indeed a future for Descendants and Zombies, regardless of how the critics have been trying to make us feel. I think that there are so many things to talk about when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. So because there are so many things to talk about when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, I don't know why Disney is so concerned about a photo being leaked or a set prop being leaked to reveal something about the upcoming Descendants 5 at Wonderland. Because the only thing that a photo or a video is going to do with a star in it like Clarke is get people talking, and keep them talking for the foreseeable future. If I was the director behind Descendants and Zombies, that is exactly what I'd want to have happen, is people to talk about the franchise. Because all these rumors will start. I know rumors sometimes can be very awful because they can be misinterpreted, but all these rumors will start. The conversation on forums about Descendants and Zombies will be at an all-time high, and people will be more excited than ever before. So your ratings will increase, your revenue will increase, the Descendants and Zombies merch will be flying off the shelves, DisneyShop.com will be blowing up. So I think that only good things can come from a photo or a video being leaked. I don't know why these stars have to feel so afraid of what a Disney executive is going to think if they conduct an interview unprofessionally, or they say something inaccurate, or a photo or a video is leaked. Why does everything have to be approved by a social media department? I give you my word, if I become a big-time executive of Disney because of the popularity of this YouTube channel, something will be done about it. I will take that away, because nobody deserves to live their life in fear about how a Disney executive is going to feel about their approach. I think that after an incredible effort has been seen by Kylie and Malia and Meg, I think that when you talk about Descendants and Zombie stars alike, they have showcased such a heart and dedication for Descendants and Zombies unlike anything that I've ever been a part of. So they don't deserve to live their life in fear about how a Disney executive is going to feel about them, or how anybody, in terms of a critic, feels about them. I don't think that they deserve to go home every night and cry their eyes out of their head because of a critic feeling the way they do about them. All they have to understand is that they are inspirations to millions of people, and they are the reason why things like this YouTube channel will forever exist, will forever thrive, because of how you feel about it, along with how they feel about their performances. Unfortunately, they are feeling in doubt about their performances, feeling as if they're not good enough because of how a critic feels about them. And I want people like Meg Donnelly and Godly Control to know that the support is there for them here on this YouTube channel, because they have forever and always deserved somebody to say something nice about them, to give them incentive to keep on creating for so many wonderful people who have felt inspired by Descendants of Zombies. I see them doing everything for Christmas and Halloween, and I love seeing them have fun. And I think they should need more opportunities presented to them where they can have fun, and an unbelievable amount of fun. Not just one day at Disney World or one day at Halloween Fest or the Disney Channel Christmas Day Parade and just say, hooray, everybody, we had fun. I think this needs to be happening more, which means a more enjoyable experience shooting Descendants of Zombies because of each and every one of you, because they know their inspirations. And I love seeing them being very confident in themselves. Unfortunately, they aren't as confident as they seem, because it's just how Disney wants it to be perceived and how Disney wants it to be marketed. It's all about a marketing strategy for Disney. And I think if you give them more creative energy and you give them more creative incentive and more encouragement to head into the foreseeable future, which is very uncertain on times because nobody ever knows how these stars are going to be received, especially these new cast members that are making up the new cast of Descendants 5 going on, I get it. But I want each and every one of them to know if they want to hear something nice and they want to hear great reviews about their performances and the criteria that they're living up to a certain standard because of, or feeling as if they have to come through all the time. The love and support for them will forever and always exist here on this YouTube channel because as far as I'm concerned, I have some of the best Descendants and Zombies fans who have ever subscribed to a YouTube channel subscribed here. Because they see the good in each and every one of these stars. They see the good in every single music video that they've ever watched. From the moments that Zed and Addison met each other in the zombie safe zone. The iconic elevator scene, which I just elaborated on. When Addison finally realized that zombies were being treated unfair. With that scene where they actually tried to do something to the zombie house that Zed lived in. I think they were going to egg it or something. And take it from somebody who's been victimized of being egged every year on Halloween. It's not fun. But at that moment, I remember how she realized that zombies were being treated unfair, and she questioned if zombies were always being treated this way. And the thing is, what you've got to think about, what they were putting into perspective was, there is somebody out there in this lifetime that you are probably friends with that just wants to see a little bit of extra kindness in their life shown to them every single day. Because so many people are being treated unfair. So many people are never being given enough of a chance. And that's why the reoccurring theme in zombies has always been acceptance. Because I'll be honest with each and every one of you, I'm far from perfect. So do you think I had an easy childhood? No, I didn't. All I realized was that I only needed 3 or 4 really good friends to help me make sense of everything going on around me. And once I finally grasped the concept of that, I was cool. I was cool with it. I was fine. Because 20 years later, I had the chance of hosting a podcast where so many people subscribed by the thousands because they love Descendants of Zombies. I finally fell into a niche that was acceptive of how I felt about Descendants of Zombies, and through it all, I got to share with you my experiences and my stories that made me a fan of Meg Donnelly, which I'm a huge supporter of. I'm really excited about her Broadway debut. Really excited about that more than anything else in the world right now. And it has everything to do with how I was a fan of zombies. You know, if you think Zombies is cool, and you think there's a future for Zombies 5 and beyond even Zombie 6, Zombie 7, then I just want to keep on encouraging that. Because I forever and always believe that as long as we continue to encourage the hope for the foreseeable future for Descendants of Zombies, I mean, that's what we're put here to do. It's not to discourage you from believing that Zombies 5 is ever going to happen, because apparently they've run out of supernatural characters to elaborate on in the Descendants franchise. Because the reality of it is there are so many supernatural characters and so much of a lore, so much of a history that dates back hundreds of years for zombies if you take the liberty to do your research. There's a cure for vampirism. There's such a history and a lore that even goes with werewolves and aliens even. I mean, how many times, you think about it like this, how many times do you see a video on YouTube about how somebody is convinced they've been abducted by aliens? Now, take it from a guy that's been trying to get abducted by aliens for at least the last 25 years, ever since he was 15 years old. It is quite difficult. And when your mom thinks you're crazy because you spend nights out on your lawn, you know, lying on your front lawn trying to be beamed up by a Starship Enterprise, and she tells you you're crazy, and you're like, Mom, shut the window, I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. You haven't lived until you experience a moment like that. But I say this because moments like this are moments that only happen once for every lifetime. So they are moments that should forever and always be cherished and never forgotten. And how you ensure that things like legacies are carved for people like Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim is you continue to show an endless amount of love and support, and you believe in it just as much as what they do. Because in order to embrace a character, you've really got to believe the story that you're a part of. You've got to become a part of that story. And I think that if these stars were offered more guidance and given more incentive to keep on creating into the foreseeable future, even for Sky, who deserves all the encouragement for everything she's got happening for the foreseeable future. I think that because these stars have never seemed to shine brighter in any constellation that you want to talk about or any moment that you want to talk about, this is what makes opportunities like this so fun. And that's what's made hosting this show such a huge honor for me. So I just want to say thank you so much from my heart to yours for allowing me the opportunity to have come into your life as your voice of Descendants and Zombies, to have helped you make sense of these franchises when nobody else seemed to ever could, because they just ranked their top 10 moments of Zombies, their top 10 songs of Descendants. I get it. And I understand how you feel, because I know what it's like to be each and every one of you. So if you'd like to take a chance on me and come along with me on this incredible journey as I showcase Descendants and Zombies the way it was forever and always meant to be showcased, it would be my honor to continue to upload videos about Descendants and Zombies into that foreseeable future, and I'm just so excited to be a part of that future that we talk about all the time here on this YouTube channel, because indeed there is one, and people should be given more of a reason than ever before to believe in Zombies 5. I have some more videos coming out later on this afternoon. Keep watching for those podcasts to drop, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, because your love and support goes a long way when it comes to this YouTube channel. You have been watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blog. Stay calm and zombie on into that foreseeable future, because indeed there is a future to discuss, and I've got a whole lot to say where this one goes for Zombies 5, because it is going to happen regardless of when it happens. There's an unofficial release date coming for Zombies 5, and as soon as more information drops on the release window of Zombies 5, you had better believe Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs will have it for you. So if you want to follow along with the conversation, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring my bell to stay up to date with every notification. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke. Bye, YouTube. We will talk more about zombies in that foreseeable future.